It is me. It is me. It is indeed. I hope y'all are doing well. I know you're probably catching this on the replay. If you do, thank you. Oh, man. Let's get started. We're gonna take you along, help me out to do a few things. Daisy, I gotta go in here. Something wrong. Trying to get laundry done today in the laundry room. Me, no understand what's wrong with my laundry unit. So hang on, guys. How are you? Thank you for being here, Big John. What are you up to, my friend? Washing machine cut off on me for some reason, John. Don't quite know what's going on. I don't know if it's overloaded or what, but we'll give this a try. So what have you been up to, John? I hope you're doing great out in the land of Fornia. Man, it's starting to rain here, by the way. I wish I had a pocket in the shirt, but I don't. We're going to get settled down here in a minute, John, I promise. Right now, I'm just trying to get a couple little things done. Just started raining on us. Got to check on my doggies. My doggies are doing good, Lily. Lily seems a little tired today. My wife just cooked tacos. She's seeing it on TikTok. Nice. You eat 4 tacos. We had Mexican food today, too. But we had to go do a bunch of running around, so we just picked it up at one of the local, not branded Mexican restaurants. Have a drive-through. Their food's pretty good. You know, my problem is with it, because we like it's a little expensive, but we usually get 2 meals. I drop, can you take jokes? Sure, I can take a joke. The problem I have with it is it's a little expensive, but we get 2 meals usually out of a serving, so it makes it much better. But what I don't like, and that is just me, is when I go there, they speak in Spanish, and they immediately assume I'm Spanish speaking at the drive-through, and that drives me a little crazy because I'm not. I'm nothing against it, I'm just not. And so when I start talking English, it's kind of like, oh, damn American. That's what you are, you're a damn American. Let's see, our little friend here says, okay, have you ever tried Cayman cider? I have not, never heard of it. Making sure I got everything so I can sit down for a couple minutes. My dogs are going to get, don't tell my wife, my dogs will get some leftover ground beef from the Mexican food today. So hang on there. All right, sorry guys. Feel like I'm crooked, there we go. Bunch of people watching, please give us a thumbs up. If you would, drop a comment, let us know who's all here and what's going on. I Drop Giant, is that a reference to the CR bathroom? Joke? Nah is a reference to my, you have a problem with your nutsack, I guess. Well, I've been told that some men have those problems. But whatever makes you happy. Alexandria, my view, your world. Thank you all for being here. I need to adjust my camera. It's hard for me to read. Hang on. You guys are going to go for a bouncy bouncy. There. That's a little better. We're doing great. I'm doing great tonight. Been wondering about you. Haven't seen you live lately, but maybe just keeping missing it. Well, I took, to be honest, I took Monday and Tuesday off. I was really tired, not feeling great. So I thought I'd just take the day off. But thank you all for thinking of me. If you haven't, give us a thumbs up so YouTube knows we're liked. So that's part of it. And then on the weekend, Lorelai's been doing live streams. And then her and I, wrong thumb. Her and I have been doing ones together. Get the QuickBooks. You know, but on the weekends. Alexandria, how are you? Everybody say hello to everybody. Let me get situated here. Alexandria, but we appreciate you. How are you doing, by the way? My views, your world. Hello, everybody. You guys all say hello to each other. What did I walk into? I don't know. I don't know. Probably just somebody trying to be funny. You know the old saying, my friend, if you got to try to be funny, then you're not funny. I laid in the sunshine for 1 hour today. Nice. We didn't have sunshine here, John. Hello, everybody. I'm doing good. Just staying very busy. I have to get off here soon to clean up the kitchen. But I wanted to stop and say hi and check in with you. I really, really appreciate that, Alexandria. And what I'll tell you is this, Alexandria. I'm doing a new thing in the kitchen. I'm trying to get, there's only Lorelai in our house. Lorelai and I, right? Only 2 people. And somehow she thinks I'm the messiest person in the house. So I'm coming up with a new kitchen rule. I have 1 bowl, 1 glass, and 1 fork. I'm pretending I'm in jail. So I have 1 set of a bowl, a plate, and a fork and a spoon and a glass that I use. And every time I get done with it, I wash it and I put it away where I have it drying at, right? And so that's my new kitchen thing. I'm trying to get it in the habit of only using the same bowl over and over and over and over and over. So Drop says, I asked you could take a joke, and you said, yeah, we could take a joke. You just got to have clean jokes, not offensive jokes. You know, jokes sometimes just shows you can show in a positive or a negative way your maturity level. Big John says, my views, your world. I'm not funny, so don't try. John says, hello to Alexandria. Use paper plates. I'm lazy. Well, it's too much trash, and they cost money. And we're poor, can't really afford paper plates. So, you know, so that's what I'm not, because I saw this on a jail thing, right? Look, guys, I've lost so much weight that my wedding ring is falling off. So I saw it kind of in prison where these guys have a cup and a little utensil thing, and they keep it and they wash. So I thought, well, maybe I'm going to try that and see if we can't have a cleaner kitchen is what I'm trying. So Alexander says, hello to you, Big John. Dirty jokes are the funniest, though. Yeah, but you got to remember, you're actually on YouTube, and they have community guidelines that we all have to follow, whether we like it or not. My views, your world says, hello, Big John. I have subscribed to your channel. If you guys haven't subscribed to each other's channels, please do. My views, your world. We'll be heading to the Philippines and traveling the world, so you guys check his channel out. Now, Alexandria may not like his channel because it's full of girls, but But that's okay. He has a good channel. He's growing it. He's going to be a blogger in the Philippines. I didn't say that it actually broke community guidelines. I said you got to be careful about that. I have a very little kitchen counter space. I'm getting rid of items. Good. You're lucky. I'm going to tell you guys something. The bigger your house is, the messier it is. We don't have a very big house here, but it's way bigger than the house that we had in the Philippines. And there's more crap on the countertops in this house than we had, period, in the Philippines. I mean, we got coffee maker that I don't use. We got 2 rice pressure cooker thingamajiggies, an instant pot, a toaster, another toaster, rice bin, alcohol, books. I mean, the damn thing is just packed. Just packed. So Lorelai thinks we need a bigger house, square footage wise, so that basically she can hide all of my crap, because she thinks I'm the messy one, somewhere. So all of David and his crap can stay out of the way, and she can have like a clean little haven. But I think we need a smaller house, because I think we do better keeping it clean when it's smaller, because you don't need as much stuff. Okay, here's a clean joke for you. Nice. If the USA was to crash today, what would be their backup? Hey, Raleigh, how are you, buddy? Haven't seen you in a long time. How's Florida? Yeah, it's doing good. So iDrop has a question, which is supposed to be a joke. Kind of reads like a question. If the USA crashes today, what would be their backup? I'll have to tell you. Oh, a USB? That doesn't make sense. There's no way one USB would hold the data for the United States government. Just wouldn't. It wouldn't even come close. There's not one big enough. I mean, you'd have to have, I don't know, 1 billion trillion gigabytes to hold all the data. So, eh. My first ever live stream that I watched was yours when you were showing me your fancy computer refrigerator. I thought, it is cool. It's over there, it's still in the kitchen. So, it's nice, I guess. It's heavy, it's big, but yeah, it's a nice refrigerator. Lorelai likes it, she picked it out. All I care about is whether it keeps things. iDrop says, bro can't take a joke. It's not about taking a joke. You just got to have something that's funny and funny that's not logical. So, because one thing, hey, stop. My dog's complaining. One thing you have to understand about me, if you're new to my world, and thank you all for being here and your thumbs up, is I like jokes, but I don't have a great sense of humor. I'm a very logical, very scientific mind. And so it really has to be funny for me to laugh at it. Sorry, that's just the way it is. But I see rationale and logic in everything. That's how I see it. But yeah, refrigerator's nice. It's big, it's heavy. I think it was about $2,000. So, yeah, we got too much crap. So Alexandria, be happy that you got a small kitchen is what I'm saying. I think we do better. I know we like to have parties, and we have a lot of parties, and we have a lot of open events, and we may have 50 people in this house, so an open concept is really nice. But man, we just seem to keep collecting crap. That plant died. I do worry that when we go to southern Alabama, that how am I going to take all this crap? It's just crazy. Definitely got to read the audience for jokes. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's a good way. One thing I used to teach about was when you speak in public, and I've talked to some of you guys here on YouTube about how to improve your public speaking because you've asked. Not because I know, but because you asked. And I've told you guys, you have to read your audience and see what works and doesn't work. If you're talking to, a bunch of construction workers, maybe you go one direction. If you're talking to people in higher education, you go to a different direction. All right, Alexandria, we appreciate you. I hope you get all your work done. Thank you for coming in. Everybody say goodbye to Alexandria. It is. I think, John, you're right. A bigger house, square footage wise, I don't think it would. This one's about, I don't know, maybe 1,800 square foot. And you got to remember, I mean, it's a nice house, but I'm not a big fan of it for some reason. But I think if we had more and more square footage, we would just have more room to put more shit in, right? And I don't know if that's a good thing. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, I remember there. Yeah. Well, I tried. I know, I love Mike. I think he's funny and humorous. I know he was having a few beers at the time, so he may not remember what I said to him, right? So he may not remember the conversation that well, but that's okay. If he ever asks again, I'll be happy to teach him. You got to have confidence, Stairs are dangerous. Yeah, we can't live in a two-story. I can't do stairs anymore. Between my reconstructed ankle, my knee replacement, my weight, my heart condition, my back, we can't do stairs. For us, we had a two-story house that we made a lot of money on a few years back before we went to the Philippines, but we never went upstairs. We had to find an excuse to go upstairs. So it was a big waste for us. I mean, to be honest, I've been looking, I know Lorelei doesn't like this concept maybe, but I actually think maybe a 2-bedroom house for us, and I put like a mini house out in the yard somewhere that I can use as an office guy space. I'm putting my stuff in storage, don't get to move back in 5 years until I sell everything. I'm putting my stuff in storage. If I don't move back in 5 years, I'll sell everything. Nice. Hey, there's Joey. Joey, how are you? Thank you for coming in, Joey. My Visual World says goodbye to Alexandria. She's a great person, by the way. If you ever see her on live streams, be kind to her. She's a very good person. We've got to know her like this, and I think she has a good heart. So what we did, and we made mistakes living in the Philippines. We made mistakes moving to the Philippines. We did. I haven't done a video on it, and I need to. I start to do a video on it, then I kind of get depressed. So, because I'm like, man, I wasted so much money and I screwed so many things up that it makes me sad when I start to try to do a video about how I screwed up. So, now it wasn't all my fault. Let me give myself a tiny bit of credit. Typhoon Odette, put us in a hole. It did. I'm doing good today. I took Monday and Tuesday, which is yesterday and the day before, and I really didn't do anything. I was really tired, so I just kind of laid around. I went to bed about 5 o'clock yesterday and watched TV with the dogs. Today I feel better. I feel more energetic. So, doing okay. I had a nurse practitioner come to the house today to do my annual insurance physical or audit. I don't know what you want to call them. And, I'm okay. My blood pressure was lower than normal, but, for me, I have very low blood pressure. That's how I work. So it's all right. Yeah, well, and like I've said, we made so many mistakes, and we have land in the Philippines, and we're going back in 26 because we got to start thinking about what we're going to do with this land because it is developing around it, and we got to decide which way we're going, rental property or vacation home. People waste money here in the States also. I think you like to blame the Philippines, not saying you are right. When the issues were the situation, yeah. Now, I didn't waste money in the Philippines. I wasted money here. So let me correct that if that's how I sounded. I wasted a bunch of money with the entire move to the Philippines. But I didn't waste, well, we did. we got hustled for about $2,000, but that's a pittance to what I lost, or you know what I mean. But it wasn't. We did get hustled in the Philippines a little bit, but it was more about moving and loss of your net gain and blah 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 blah. You know, so that's on me, not the Philippines. There's a little elevation to your, yes, there's an elevation to our land, and our property has beachfront access. It's built into like an upper scale neighborhood or subdivision. So, and we have to go and, yeah, not too worried about the flooding, to be honest, because if it floods, you know, what do? We just get the water hose out and wash the place out. It's not like in America where you got to rip out the concrete. So, but Joey, I understand what you say and what you mean, and I agree with you. I've talked to a lot of expats who are bitching and whining, you know, about the Philippines and about, but it's about them individually. It's about me individually. That's what I mean. I made a lot of mistakes, right? Me. It wasn't your fault, Joey, or anybody else's, but my own fault. I mean, we sold and lost and gave away thousands. We lost thousands upon thousands of dollars on that process. We did. But it is what it is. You're always worried about flooding? Don't. Look, the houses, just dry them out and keep going. You know, get some bleach and bleach the floor and the walls where the water flooded. Don't worry about the flooding in the Philippines. I know what you're talking about, the streets getting flooded. Now, I don't have any experience in that, where Manila got flooded and, you know, and you had to walk in waist-high water down the main street. I have no experience in that. But in Cebu, if the water rose, it went down pretty quick and you just clean it up. My views, my world. One thing you must understand and eventually will come to expect in the Philippines is that natural disasters are commonplace there. Plan accordingly. And you're right. And that's part of what we got to do long term, guys, is we're looking at this. If we build a vacation home, which would be a nicer home, I promise you it's going to have a built-in home house generator. We can afford to buy a generator, hopefully. And I'm going to make sure that the water system is doable. The water system we had in our rental houses was not sustainable. So that's a big issue, making sure that our water tank can stay full. It's one thing I've learned living in the Philippines. Very important to me. Even though I don't drink it, I want that water. And I want that water to flush my toilet so I don't have to carry buckets in to do it. So that's one thing I've learned. You got to prepare for these things. Yeah, well, yeah, you know, you're going to live in a condo where all the chicks are. So you might as well just go up and get a view or something and get a balcony and enjoy yourself. But yeah, I've seen the city flooding and stuff like that. We got a bunch of people watching in the background. You guys come forward, let me know who's here. Give us a thumbs up. Tell us what's going on in your world. So that, yeah, I get it. But Joey's right. And this is something that I've learned the hard way. My wife did it, I'll tell you this much. My wife did a very good job preparing us the best she could for Typhoon Odette. But living in that concrete house with no electricity, no water for almost 2 weeks, in the heat with the mosquitoes was extremely damaging to me. It was very hard on me. I didn't do well in that. There's a very simple fix to the water issue. Sawyer makes a filter that will filter 10,000 gallons. Yes, small enough to hold in. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and we use a water filtration system in the Philippines. We had those. We attached those. And I agree with that. But my big concern is about running out or not having water pressure. That's one of the things I hated. I hated not having enough pressure in the water hose so that I could hose down the patio. I didn't like that, and that's the way it was in Cebu. So if I got to figure out a water system that can pressurize that water versus gravity feed, you know what I mean? That's what I want. I want to be able to give myself some water power. You learned about the typhoons and prepping them in Okinawa? Yeah. But you're right, and we do. We keep the filters. We put filters in there because we do wash dishes with it. Lorelai won't cook with it. She uses the bottled water to cook with in the Philippines, so we go through a lot of that. But we do shower with it, clean the house with it, but we still run it through the filter. You're absolutely correct. And you got to change those. You know, a lot of people put them on and think they're good for life, but they're not. So we learned a lot, or I learned a lot, but she did a good job. We had plenty of food to eat, but it was really difficult on me. And then we had to move to a condo half the size of a, well, it was basically 200 square feet. So about the half of a two-car garage, so a single-car garage, with our dogs, which was a nightmare, which because we had no power, no electricity for weeks, months, actually 3 months. So, well, I think the key is this. You got to buy a generator. Got to buy a generator. I'm going to do like they do in the Gulf of America area. You guys like that? Gulf of America area. I want it raised up so it doesn't flood, right? Because if it's underwater, it doesn't do any good. So we'll build a platform on the house, behind the house, wherever, and we'll mount it high so that it can be dealt with. And if we got to put a little ladder to put gas in it or diesel in it, we will. Heike and I have drank the foul water. You can imagine those Sawyer bottle cap filters. Oh, I believe you. I believe you, but I believe you, but I don't want to test your theory. So that's part of it. Part of what I thought going through that, how if we bought or built a vacation house, how would we want it? And Lorelai and I are looking at that, to be honest. And we're talking about that. And one thing we've talked about is building a Filipino house in Alabama. So we want to move to southern Alabama, or at least I do, because I want to go fishing more and I want the warmer weather. And when we go down in a couple months for a vacation to look around neighborhoods and study, I got this week on my to-do list when I get around to it. I got some builders in Alabama, and I'm going to ask them, I'm going to send them some pictures and say, can you build this type of house? Because we're really thinking about building a Filipino house here. Off topic, great. I have a new song, upload again. Oh yeah, absolutely. Look, you're blue, my friend Joey, you don't have to ask. Thank you for asking. But when you're blue, you're a moderator, you can drop your link without question. So, and do you know, man, guys, I'm sorry, I got a little bit of a brain cognitive issue because of the coma. So I have issues. My views, your world. What's MJ's channel called? Joey, if you don't know, our friend MJ, I can't remember his channel name right now. Crap. Damn it. He does music also. So he does all kinds of cool shit. He's working on a theme song for our channel for us as kind of a fun thing to do for us out of kindness. But you might hook up with him. You guys he's into the music thing. I was on his live stream earlier today for a little bit, and he was jamming with some other musicians. So I put a big tank at my mother-in-law's house for water. It's on a concrete tower for water pressure. Doing the Philippines? Is that it? Maybe he'll pop in later. Doing the Philippines, or Let's Do the Philippines. That's his channel name, right? Let's Do the Philippines. So, John, let me ask you, my glasses are weird too. I feel like I'm being weird. I don't know. I'm weird. So, John, I want to clarify because knowledge is what I seek. Are you saying that you build a concrete tower and you put the water container onto a concrete tower? And then did you put a pump to pressurize it when you need it into the house? Or are you just gravity fed? Joey says, I'm actually recording an album now, original songs in Tagalog and English. Nice. Well, good. Yeah, take your time with it so that you do it, where you're happy with it. Okay, all right. Because I know gravity feed doesn't give you enough pressure to do crap. That was my big thing. We had gravity fed and we had a pump. Our system was kind of ass backwards. The water we had at the condo was contaminated with oil from the typhoon, so we couldn't use that water at all. The water at the house, when we had water, because it would be turned off a lot. Yep, Let's Do the Philippines, yes. So the water we had at our little rental house there in the Philippines, that area, that neighborhood would lose water all the time. There wasn't enough water available. And so they would have a pump that when the water started to come in, the pump would get it pumped up into the tank. That's what our pump system was. So the pump system went pumping the water into the tank, right? And then it was basically supposed to be fed into the house. Well, I have no clue what you're saying there. No clue. Some of the folks that speak Tagalog me, John's pretty good at it, I think. So that's my concern is, yes, I may have to use pump to get it up here, from the ground, but I want to be able to get that damn water, and I want to use it as pressure. I want to make sure we have water pressure in the house. So I got to work on that. That's a big issue to me. You like that, Joey? No, backwards. Oh, I see. I see backwards. Yes. Yes, I got you, buddy. Man, you smart people. Oh my God. So yeah. Because there wasn't, when we were on the island of Cebu, of course, Mactan Island, when we're on Mactan Island where the airport is, there wasn't enough water pressure. When the water would be turned on in the Mactan on the island in my region, there wasn't enough pressure to push it up into the tank. That's crazy. And then we did have a problem with rust in the tank. We did have a problem with that, but it was an old metal tank. And so I don't know, you guys tell me, is the plastic tank better than the metal tank or the metal tank better? Which is better? Which is the way to go? I don't know about cost, how different the cost would be, but I don't know which would be better. I do think you got to kind of, I don't know, my logic tells me if you're going to go PVC tank, then you go PVC the whole way as much as you can. But I don't know if they do that in the Philippines. Like in America, new houses, a lot of them are running PVC. My house here, it has, for the plumbing, it's PVC pipe is what it is. It's red and blue, hot and cold, whatever. It's red and blue, PVC plumbing. I don't know if they're doing that in the Philippines or not. I don't know. But if you're going to have a big PVC tank outside to dump water in, I would like everything to be PVC. I've seen it where the tank was elevated above the house. Yes, me too. Ours wasn't above, but it was only 4 feet off the ground. Yep, they used a pump, which is what we did. We used a pump to get it into the tank. And gravity feed, yeah, and I hated that. Yep, and that's what we had, and I hated it. I would assume the PVC would be better as long as it's rated to withstand the sunlight. That's correct. And I know it is, the big blue tanks, I know it is. Now, you could worry about the chemicals in the PVC, right? Leaching out into the water over years and years and years and causing cancer. So, but I don't know. I've seen more and more in the Philippines where people are using the plastic tank. Did did you say you were using metal or plastic? I didn't catch it. I think, I don't know. And that's what I got to study on. Yeah, but we're a long ways away. So, yes, but the filter would eliminate. Okay. All right. So you think the filtrations, yeah. If you're saying you can drink crap water with it, kind of, then it should be able to process. If it can process out, does the filter you're talking about process out bacteria, virus, and chemicals? I'm sure it probably does 10 microns or less. And what did you call it again? I'm going to Google it real quick. Tell me the name of it again. I got my iPad sitting here. Sawyer, all right. Because I wonder how it would take out, bad things like, biologicals. How do you get biologicals out of it? Let's see. We got some. It doesn't look like Amazon selling them. It's all your tap filters. Let's see if it's the one we had in the Philippines. But then the carcinogens in the plastic, is just part of it. Oh, here's Sawyer's website themselves. Let me pull up their website. Oh, yeah. It's $46. This one says it's $46. This one you can use for traveling. Wow. I really need to understand the science behind that. Yeah. It says it can treat 500 gallons per day to a 0.1 micron standard. The smallest lightweight tap feature, almost 100% of Salmonella E. coli. But I need to understand that. Microplastics, okay, there's the microplastics, exceeding EPA recommendations for removal rates. It looks like a really good product. It really does. I'm going to dig into that just for my own knowledge, because when I worked in the labs at the college, we had a lot of fun with microscopic little bugs, and so I find the science about how people are going to rid those pretty cool. There are videos you can watch on the site about yes, I saw that, and I will. Because I'm one of these people, for good or bad, if you say, this pen, which I already know, this pen writes purple ink, I want to know how and why. And I've done this as a kid. I've tore things apart, cut them up, put ink all over me, because I figured out how pens work. I know that there's a little filtration system in here. and or a little tube container in some of the pins. And it's like a little sponge, a little cigarette filter. So trust me, I've learned the hard way. But I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those guys like, oh, how does this work? Sawyer is almost single-handedly solving the water issue in Africa. Nice. They give thousands of units. Oh, that's great. Well, if and when I win the big lottery, I'll give them some money to give out even more. Because even, the funny thing is, or the sad thing, whichever way you look at it, I never drank the water in the Philippines. Lorelei never did. Lorelei doesn't drink tap water here. I do. And Lorelei doesn't drink the tap water in the Philippines, even though that's where she was born and raised. And I talked to a bunch of people in the Philippines, and they're like, we don't trust it. They don't trust their tap water. So maybe in third world countries that this would be a good solution for them. So I agree with you. And I think it's good that they're doing charity work and giving out. Maybe I don't know what Mr. Beast is doing, but I guess he has a big water giveaway thing or project that he does on his YouTube channel. So I saw that, but I don't know the great details about that, which is good. And, look, if they can do, nobody could it'd be really hard to go through 500 gallons of water a day, I think, unless you're just running the faucet all day long. But yeah, so I'm always interested in the science behind things. So that's something we got to think about. We definitely would, and we may put double filtration. One in and one out. You know what I mean? What goes in the tank gets filtered. What comes out of the tank gets filtered. Me have no problem with that. We do love, and I wish America did this more. We do like the, I almost forgot the name of them. The split air con systems you see all over the world, but here, the room air cons where they're split units. So we would put those in the house, of course. One thing we also learned is when we build this house, depending on if it's going to be rental property or a vacation home, we will put screens on the windows. Screens on the windows. In the Philippines, there was no screens on the window. Mosquitoes, yum, yum, Man, that was rough. So we had to do that. So we're learning things. But I like, and Lorelei and I both kind of enjoy the Asian style house or the Filipino house. We don't have any problem with how they look. Big Ken. Big Ken, how are you, my friend? Can't believe that in America still, I know, it's stupid, right? Point source water heaters are 10 times better. Take up less space, cost, about the same or less in some cases. They work better. One thing I did years ago, and I used to know a lot about these. At our laboratory, at the time, we had like 8 laboratories when we built the first wing for the science department, right? And they put in these little mini water tanks, which is stupid. They're like 8-gallon water tanks. And I had them retrofitted, and I put under the sink small units that could run 4 or 5 units in the labs for the kids, for the students. And worked great. We put them in a bunch of places. And when we built the new wings, we always made sure that we put those in there. They worked great. We had no problems with it. Waste of money and space. I agree with you. It's crazy because, you walk into a shower and there's an electrical plug. I know that freaks out a lot of people. There's electricity in my shower. Ken, I can't believe America still uses toilet paper. Toilet paper? Who uses toilet paper? I just use dollar bills, man, No. But I think that's what throws a lot of people off, is the hot water heaters in the showers are plugged into the outlet above you. I think once you get over that fear, then it's not a big deal. That too, yes. So, yeah. So we would definitely put a hot water unit in the sink because I want hot water to wash dishes. The Filipino people don't really seem to care about hot water to do dishes in. But for some reason, I guess growing up in America, I believe your water has to be nice and hot to wash dishes in. I don't know if there's a scientific difference between dishes washed in hot water and or lukewarm room temperature water. I don't know if there's a difference. Does anybody have an opinion on that? Because Lorelai and I debate this because I use hot water in the sink. When I take a shower, I come out looking like a lobster because the water's so hot. When I take a jacuzzi bath, same thing. No. Room temperature water is where it needs to be. So she thinks washing dishes, which is fine, I guess. I mean, she does a good job. So I don't know. I just wonder if there's a real scientific difference. Maybe we can launch a study. Soap is soap. Water temp does not have any effect, at least at a temperature that you can touch. I would agree with that, and I understand that from a logical, scientific point. Hot water, like, unless you have it boiling, really is not going to kill anything or disinfect anything. Hot water that comes out of my tap to wash my dishes with, yeah, but isn't that weird how we grow up, because do Americans look at it like, well, since we have a hot water tank out in the garage, that we don't need to worry about it? I don't know. Why do we do the things that we do? Hot water just helps to melt down the grease and food stuck in the dishes. Yeah, hot water definitely helps to get rid of the grease. And one thing I do, now in the Philippines, you don't do garbage disposals. But here in America, with our garbage disposal, I put hot, boiling off the stove, hot water down my garbage disposal every once in a while. I also throw Cascade dishwashing pods in there once in a while with scrolling hot water. The other thing I do is the opposite. I take ice and I pack it, and then I run it, and it cleans out the garbage disposal because I don't like the garbage disposal. You don't take hot showers, Joey? Room temperature? See, I don't know where that comes from. Why do I like hot showers? Why do I think, I wonder about the rest of the world. Are Americans the only one that crawls into a shower and comes out looking like a lobster? I mean, I know I've talked to some of the military guys, and they've said, yeah, there is no hot water in the military. You're lucky if it's lukewarm. So I'm over that. When I was in the Philippines, the water temperature didn't bother me. I would have enjoyed a hot shower once in a while, but the lukewarm water was fine. And you like those steamy showers? Me too. I just, I try to get Lorelai. Hey, Lorelai, come on into the Jesus Club. It's like, are you freaking crazy? You have boiled lobsters in there. Like, well, I like them hot. But I got used to it, So I'm not too worried, but we would put a hot water unit. I can't remember what they're called, Ken. What are they called? What are the damn it. My brain, I hate this when I can't remember simple things. I don't remember what they're called. The hot water tanks in the Philippines. Under the counter units, whatever you want to call them. Filipina Bai in the house. Hello, how are you? Good morning, everybody. Everybody say hello to Filipina Bai. Thank you for coming in. I hope you gave us a thumbs up. It looks like you did. Thank you. Yeah, I got used to cold showers in Afghanistan. There you go. 20 below zero. Was ice crystal. Ooh, Jesus Christ. That's I would have just stayed dirty. Oh. But so hot water. So we would put one. I want one at, let's see, Sanders in the house. Good evening to you, young man. How are you? How are the dogs? How are your doggies? We're talking about the Philippines, housing, what we would put into our future house. Because we're thinking about, we have land and we got to decide in 26 what we're going to kind of do. We don't got to make a 100% decision. But we need to put pen to paper, so to speak, whether we're going to build some rental properties and rent them, or we're going to build a vacation home. And I like thinking about the vacation home because it gives me more to think about. So we're just kind of talking about what would you like or in a house. That's kind of the topic we got into. Well, handicap shower. Well, absolutely. John, and to be honest, that's one of the reasons I don't like this house. This house is brand new, well, 3 years old now. But it's not handicap friendly. And I know down the road, whether we live in Alabama, down by the Gulf of America, or we are in the Philippines, we have to have a wide open, easy for me to get in and out of bathroom. And that's the one good thing in the Philippines is they make everything out of tile. So you could just kind of roll in there, hose off, and roll out. But you just got to have it wide enough, and you got to have some drainage to it. So I agree with you, John. Joey is saying hello to you, young Miss Bai. So I can't pronounce what he says, but the sentiment is, hello, how are you today? You know, or hello, I hope you're having a great day. One of those sentiments. So the mistakes that expats make, because I've been reading, listening, and because I read a lot of journals and a lot of forums, I watch other channels, and I felt really bad when we failed living in the Philippines. It didn't work. I felt really bad. But I don't feel so bad anymore because I see so many other people doing worse than I did. So I don't feel as bad. And the fact that I'm smart enough to learn from my mistakes. You know, so, but you're right, John. Handicap, you got to be able, and that was part of the problem. When we went to the Philippines and lived, we should have never did it. My foot, after surgery, was still in a walking boot. And I had the hardest time getting around in the Philippines. You know, the grounds are not level, they're not great. We had to get the scooter, the mobility scooter, and use it, you know. It was difficult to get around. So that was one of the problems I had. So I tell people, if you're going to go there to enjoy it while you're healthy. Joey, you're right. Part of the problem is, and you're right, and I'm probably guilty of this too, which I wasn't. I didn't expect the same level of lifestyle that I had in America. I knew, and I know this sounds bad, but I knew I was stepping down, you know. I knew that. I knew that going in because I've been there and been around it. But sometimes but we had hardships due to the typhoon. And there was times I'm sitting here thinking, I have all this money in the U.S. bank, and here I am dragging dirty ass water in to flush a freaking toilet. You know, I mean, something's wrong with this picture. You know, I can buy anything I want almost in America, and here I am with my happy ass pulling water to flush a freaking toilet. So, yes, absolutely, John. Handicap doorknobs are great. Wider doors is very helpful. Light switches, they're easy to manage. So yeah, we will do that. Even in the house we build or buy in Alabama, I'm looking at a floor plan that would allow me to expand a bathroom and to make it into a designated handicap bathroom. Sanders says, Blondie has a skin tag that has like a blister on it. So heading home now to be seen. Ouch. Well, John, I'm sorry. Charles, man, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, we're a little worried about my dog Lily. You know, Lily has the club foot, right? And she has a new spot here where, you know, the doctor said it's fine. It's kind of like a callus. It's kind of like a soft callus, but it's a callus. There's no hair there anymore. But on this one toe right here, she's got a little rub spot, and we've been watching it. And I know she's probably not doing it herself, but she's doing something. So we got to watch that because we can't let her foot get infected. So I'm with you, man. You got to get those dogs taken care of. I mean, Like I told you guys all know we spent $12,000 in medical bills for the dogs in 2024. I'm trying to figure out a way to claim it on my taxes, but I don't know if I can do that. I don't think I'm going to get away with that. Big John says, I used to live in a tent, work in the wildfires. I was able to caveman it in the Philippines, yes. Well, I guess I'm not as tough as I think I am. So that's one thing that I realize. I'm not as tough as I think I am. I also think a lot of the issues are created by misunderstanding, or dare I say, inability to adequately learn and adapt to the culture. I agree. Not only in the living conditions, but the style. And I don't disagree with you. I think that's a lot of people's problem. I also think for a lot of expats, if they don't know the language, and I know you do, but I don't, and many others are not very good at it, I think that bothers them. I think it gets them stressed out. The fact that they don't hear English on a regular basis, that's a problem for them. So I think you're right. I think understanding the culture is not difficult if you put effort into it. Daily life in the Philippines is boring. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I was bored shitless in the Philippines. But then again, we lived without power, water, and all that other shit for a while. We had some rough going. Everything was closed. Everything was blown down. So nothing was open to go look at or do. So it was pretty stressful. It was pretty boring for me. And I tell people, look, if you're an active person and you like to stay busy, then you got to figure out how to do that. I tell people that I think what we should have done, and we thought about it and we looked at it, we should have bought a resort in the Philippines. We should have bought a resort, lived in it, and rented out some of the cottages as a resort, had a business. John says, I frizzed my skin tag off my neck. Yes. Got the med at Walmart, took some to the Philippines. Yes. Yeah, you can take skin tags off with that. We've done that. The other thing we've done is we've used thread, and you tie it around it. It's kind of like when you take a cow's nuts off, right? So, you tie it around it, and you give it a few days and it just falls off. Love starved, overcome showers, Philippines, life is good. There you go. Yeah, thread works. That's what we did. Just take it and just wait a few days. It dries up, falls off. So I think a lot of people aren't ready for that boredom in the Philippines because it is repetitive. So what are you going to do? You can't watch a lot of TV a lot of times because it's not in English. So you can't watch the local TV. You have to watch movies, Netflix. Well, Netflix gets old because, they don't update their shit that often. They charge us more money now, 25 or 26 bucks. But they're not always bringing out new stuff. And how many times can you watch reruns over and over and over? So you got to have a plan. And we didn't have one, for me. And some thought, the wife thought, oh, well, David will enjoy just sitting around doing nothing. No, David doesn't like that. So we found out that David doesn't like sitting around doing nothing. I had 2 horses to get their nuts cut off. Looked like it hurt. Yeah. Grunted. Yeah. Well, yeah, John. Yes, I agree. I think preparedness is the issue all fronts. If one front fails, the whole, yeah, exactly. The whole house collapses. So I think that's where if we build a vacation home, we're going to build it on one part of the land, and we're going to use the other part of the land for a garden, a yard, outdoor space. Because one thing I thoroughly enjoy, and Lorelai enjoys, is gardening. We like to grow stuff. So that you got to have a hobby. I planned on fishing a lot in the Philippines, and I didn't get to go once. 1, the typhoon. 2, areas of the ocean was shut down due to pollution. I couldn't get any boat captains to take me out because the government weren't allowing them to go out. Oh, man. So I didn't even get to fish. So our new place in the Philippines and in Alabama is going to be a lot closer to fishing because I really enjoy that. So you got to have a hobby and be able to do it. And you gotta, the weird thing for me, time to eat, brother, good. All right, Joey, good to see you tonight. Hope the rest of the week goes great. Thank you, appreciate that. I'm getting ready to release a couple more videos about lies my doctor told me, medical myths that can harm you by Dr. Ken Berry. I'm doing a chapter review of every chapter, and I got a few more ready to go out this week and next week. So if you see those, check those out. But thank you for coming in, appreciate that. So yeah, you got to have something to do there. Hopefully when we go there, we see that the beach access, and we'll do a little bit more land exploring. If there's places that I can go and fish and hang out, then maybe I'll be okay. But if not, then we won't do it. We won't do it. Because that's one thing I've actually figured out in my life, is I know I don't do a lot in America, but when I want to do something, I want to do it. Sure will let I will. See my playlist. Okay, I'll have her check it out. I will. So, where I was going was, one thing that kind of catches a lot of people off guard is how comfortable other Filipino people are with other Filipino people. I don't need much, I do nothing a lot. Well, John, I don't seem to do a lot, but I go stir crazy. I don't know how to explain it. Take that back. I don't seem to get anything done. I don't accomplish much, but I seem to do a lot. But that's one thing that, that is a little surprising, maybe, to me, is how comfortable Philippine people are with Philippine people. I wouldn't be that comfortable with other Americans. Wouldn't do it. Maybe Americans are guarded. Maybe we're raised to be a little bit more guarded, a little bit more standoffish. I don't automatically assume somebody's good. I don't do that. But it seems like in the Philippines, if you're Filipino and you come in and say hi, well, you're a good person. And I don't, necessarily, I have a little bit of a problem with that. I have a reservation about that. I don't trust you until I get to know you. You notice that, John? All right, so it's not just me, right? It's just kind of weird. They don't have a problem being in close proximity of each other. And that's a little weird for me. I'm sure it's not weird to them, but it seems a little weird for me. I guess you get used to it, but it's kind of like, I don't know, people just come over and they stay a few days. They eat and they cook, they do their laundry, and, it's like they live in the same house that we live in, which is, it's just kind of weird, for me, and like, huh. So, which is fine, they're friends, so they should feel at home, right? But they seem to feel an awful lot at home in the Philippines. Which, it's like it's normal to have a house full of people running around. And maybe it is in the Philippines. For me, not so much. I'm not used to, another family living in my house. I'm not okay with that. So, but for them, it's like it's not a big deal. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But that's on me. That's on me. And that's one thing I talked to Lorelai about. And I'll say something else about the house. If we build a vacation home in the Philippines, we don't want a two-story because I can't climb stairs, but we'll probably build a two-story. I want to put a CR upstairs and 2 bedrooms. So when our friends come over and, for a visit and they wind up staying a month, well, they can live upstairs. The one thing I was going to tell you guys, if you're going to go to the Philippines, I was telling somebody else this last night, I think. If you're going to go, there's 2 types of people that need to go to or what you need to be. One, you need to be healthy, I think, to enjoy the Philippines. So you can get out and about and do the things, walk around, enjoy the Philippines, travel, get to do all that stuff. I got a good friend that has a YouTube channel that's doing that like crazy, but he's healthy, And then I know guys that are over there that they move there because they're old and can't do a lot. So they're the ones who just stay at home and their wives take care of them. Maybe they get out to the mall once in a while, but a lot of them are there to die, so to speak. Well, they came home. The wife wanted to come home because husband's going to die. Now we have everything set up in the Philippines, right? Is what the wife thinks. So I can hire a nanny or shit. What, man? I can't think of the name. See, I draw a blank. That's the problem I have in my brain. I draw blanks a lot. Not a Lola. Yaya. So in the Philippines, you can hire support help for your old husband and not pay out the nose. In America, different story. So big difference, right? So I've talked to a lot of expats and their wives that go there for that. Yeah. John says, going to die, get some of heaven because you might not end up there in your last days. And I agree with you. You never know where you're going to wind up. But so you can hire yayas, right? And they can help take care of things, which is helpful when you're taking care of an old guy. So I told my wife, even if we're living down in the Gulf of America, and I get senile, and I don't know anything, then sure, just move my dumb ass to the Philippines, and allow me to be in my Alzheimer's state in the Philippines and hire people to look after me. I don't care. Because one good thing, Ken and John, you all know, our women folk don't like the concept of a nursing home. Do they even have nursing homes in the Philippines? I don't think they do. So that concept is not there, which is not a bad thing. So, and you can hire a yaya, or you can hire a cook, you can definitely hire a driver, Joe Biden's state of mind, yeah. I wonder if Joe, I don't want to get too off track, picking on poor Joe. I wonder if Joe realizes he's not the president anymore. Do you think he's walking around his house going, honey, where's the Oval Office? I can't find it. That's what I would be doing. So, but if you're in between, then maybe you don't want to go. If you have a mind and an excitement about yourself where you want to do a lot, but physically you can't, you may be disappointed in the Philippines. If your mind's gone, then you're not going to care. If you're physically able, you're going to have a good time in the Philippines. Oh, guess what I saw? Did you guys see this on Facebook? You guys all see that Professor Ronald has him a permanent Filipina. Did you guys see that? He's in a relationship. So congratulations to you, Ronald. Shout out to Big Ronald for calming down his playboy ways. Yep, he has a girlfriend. He announced, it was today or yesterday on Facebook, John, where he changed his status to in a relationship. So we all messaged him. I don't know with who. We haven't talked to him. I just told him I'm very happy for him. And it's kind of like, our other friends that want to go there. There's going to be a little bit of a player. I've told him the same thing. That what's going to wind up happening is you're going to go as a player, and one of them is gonna latch that little heart of yours is going to go woo. And look, it's Filipino power. We can't control that Filipino magic. We can't. And I tell guys, no, I'm not getting married in the Philippines. I'm not going to live with anybody. It's like My Way, Your World. Great guy, great channel. He's growing his. He's off to the Philippines to live in a few months. I told him he's a younger man. He's going to go hang out with the girls. But I promised him within 6 months he'll be living with the chick, and he won't care anything more about other women. So we're going to wait and see how that turns out for him. I give him 6 months after being there that he won't be shacked up and be head over heels in love. Because I'm telling you, you run into that Filipino that knows how to zip, they attach. It's not a bad thing. Now, and that's one thing I say, and it is congratulations to Ronald. I like Ronald. Ronald's a good guy. And I think he's a character. So I'm very happy for Ronald. He deserves to be happy in his days. Just like Gary. Him and Ronald are the older ones, right? They both deserve to be happy. And if Gary is happy in the Philippines doing what he's doing, man, I am so happy for Gary. But that Filipina magic, when they smile at you the wrong way for us, because we're hooked. But when they do that smile and that little giggle and laugh, you're screwed. I don't know why guys just want a minute. Yes, I know, I'm screwed. I mean, that's all it takes sometimes is a smile and a little laugh, and here we are, married. And I don't know how the hell that happens, but it seems to happen a lot. Now we're married. What do we do? We're married. So that's what's going to happen. And that's a good thing. I tell guys all the time that I talk to, look, just go with it. Don't put any roadblocks in the way. If it feels right, just jump in and go and don't worry about it. That's what I say. So, but congratulations to Ronald. I like Ronald. And one of these nights, we'll do a later live stream in hopes of catching him because I know the time difference in the Philippines. So they're just waking up there, if not even yet. So, and Ken is going to be there in a year and a half. And Ken knows exactly what I'm talking about when they smile. Right, Ken? You know that Filipino power. You've seen it. You know it. We've lived with it. Man. And some of you guys have lived with it twice. And that's okay. So do your thing. Enjoy. If you want to do the city, do the city. If you're a little bit more. See, that was one of our problems. We lived in Cebu. Cebu was just too goddamn crowded for me. It was chaotic, smelly, dirty, inner city, America, and that's not my thing. Lorelai's not a Providence girl. She's not a country girl at all, so that wasn't her thing. So where we have land now is a city, I'd call it a town. And it's growing, but it's a town. And I think that's kind of like a happy compromise. Big John says, it's them feminine ways. hook those testosterone studs. I agree. All kinds of smelly flavors. But John, you know I'm right, right? You know, there's something, look, there just is. And we know this. And we've talked to a lot of expats over the years who've seen that and did it. And if it wasn't true, there wouldn't be so many guys interested in dating a Filipina. So, you know, I know, and I thought about this, and this gets me in trouble a little bit with the American women. But why do American women get to date American men? So, because I was watching some of this. People were talking about not expats, sorry, what do they call them? Passport bros? You know, guys that are going to foreign countries to meet women and maybe get married. And apparently the American women are not happy about this. Okay, don't be happy about it. My answer would be then become a better person that somebody wants you. I don't know. But they say, well, those are just bad apples. The people that go overseas to meet other women are bad apples. They're bad guys. They're not good guys anyway. They just want a subservient woman. They just want somebody who's going to massage their feet at night. Yeah. Somebody's going to take care of them. Somebody's going to do the dishes and help out around the house and work. They just want somebody, you know, to be a partner with them. Yeah, exactly. We want an old-fashioned woman till we marry an Asian girl. Absolutely. That's why you're single, fat, and ugly, American women, because you don't have that ability to see that it's supposed to be a partnership, not a job. The man is not your employee. But you go, okay, well, but there's tons of marriages, and American women get married all the time to American men, and they do. But I think there are good American women without question. So let me throw that out there. There are good ones, and I've known some. Never dated any, but I've known some. But there are some good people out there, good women. But why do they get married? A lot of them is because fugly American woman. Yes, I know they are. Yeah. I think a lot of men are programmed to get married. I think we're taught as a young age, get married. Now, maybe this generation coming up that doesn't know what gender they are, maybe they're not geared to getting married. Maybe the cycle has broke itself. But when I grew up as a little kid, my grandparents always said, yes, you know, you will find your life partner. You will, you know. And so I think it's programmed into us. So maybe this next generation is confused about who they are. They won't get married. I know a lot of them are going to be confused. Men want women. Yeah, and that's the thing. I kind of go into that. So American women get men because men need women for one big purpose. And they're really able, and in the beginning, as you guys all know, men will tolerate women and their negative stuff to get that one thing that a 15-year-old boy wants the most in the world, right? So men, adult men, will do the same thing as a 15, 16-year-old boy. They can't control themselves. 35-year-old man can't control himself usually. So they will marry American women. They're usually miserable in 5 or 10 years or divorce, but they will marry them. They will have kids with them because they're getting that one thing that a 15-year-old boy wants the most. Hopefully the confused generation won't reproduce. I agree with that, John. Just the ones that know they're a woman or a man. I agree, John. Because I've looked at a lot of their ideology, and I've watched a lot of stuff about, you know, here, and you know, got to remember, I taught young people, college kids all my life, right? Been around them all my life. College kids are stupid. Young people are stupid. They're programmable. They're manipulated. You can manipulate them easily, right? Shadow Band, Pokemon cards, he says. Hello, thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. We appreciate you for coming in and checking in on us. Say hello to everybody. Everybody say hello to Shadow. So, college kids are stupid. They are. You can squish them around like Play-Doh, convince them that, the earth is flat and America is, whatever. You can convince them that this right here is going to be the president of the United States in the future, and that's what it is. So, hello, Shadow Band. A lot of these kids, this age group, are going along to get along. I'm going to bet you 75 to 85% of this woke group mentality is only doing it to get along, to go along, to have friends, to fit in. Just back like in the hippies days. I mean, the 80s day, the preppies. You do this weird shit, the baggy pants thing. It's all a way for you to fit in and to tie in. And that's what they're going to do, and that's what they're doing. When they're 30 and 35, they're going to be going, holy crap, what in the hell did I do to my face? What in the hell did I do to my penis? What in the hell did I do to my other body parts? That looked like it belongs to Sonic. Oh, Sonic is blue now, right? This is what you're going to need to buy your Sonic food with. So, you're right. Sonic is blue now. So I think they're going to regret. They're going to look back and go, man, I was stupid. I look back when I was a teenager, young 20-year-old, and go, man, I was stupid. So they're going to do the same. I hope they don't reproduce. But then again, if they do and they wake up, maybe they will train or teach their children better than they've been taught. Because I think their parents have failed them. Their parents have been programmed to go, it's okay to pretend that you're whatever color of the rainbow or whatever sex you want to be. You can have, 20 different sexes. No, you can't, people. Come on. But it's easier to let these young people be woke, so to speak, to run in this group than it is to try to deal with them. A lot of parents don't want to raise their kids. They don't. A lot of parents are too damn busy to raise their kids. They're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, trying to pay the mortgage, pay the car payments. So they don't raise their kids anymore. They let society raise their kids. And that's why you get a group like this. And it's not abnormal. Like I've said, recent history, hippies, saggy pants, preppies, punk rockers. Same, it all happens. It's okay. Sad thing is, this woke crap caught on better because of social media. But as you can tell, it's quickly dying, and it's going to die. It's going to phase out. When you got all these people bitching and complaining on the internet how they can't get a job because of the way they look, or they don't make $100,000 the first day at work, reality is starting to hit in. And I think self-preservation kicks in. A lot of them are going to be going, oh, wait a minute. All of my XYZ buddies and friends, well, they've put their hair back to normal. They took, whatever measures. They're calming themselves down because they need to make money to live. Mom and dad is not giving you money anymore. So you got to have money to live on. You got to get a job and pay bills. And so how do I do that? I got to conform to whatever. And it's not a bad thing. A lot of people, well, I shouldn't have to change the way I look to work. Yeah, you should. You should have to, if needed, you should have to change the way you look and the way you behave to do a job because you're getting paid for that job. It doesn't mean that job is who you are, but it is a role that you are playing. If I hire you to be Ronald McDonald, then that's your job and that's your role. I expect you to dress like Ronald McDonald. I do. I expect you to act like him. If I hire you to be a professional, a leader in my company, then I expect you to do that because I'm paying you. Just the way it is. Maintain the standard of the company. There's nothing wrong with that. I know there's just not. I don't have a problem with it. Now, I do know about the airline thing and about the weight and stuff like that, and I think there's some issues like with that. Okay, maybe you can say on an airplane, because it's not safe to have a 300-pound woman as a stewardess. Get it. Get it totally. Okay with that. That makes sense, right? She can do other jobs. So I think the generation is starting to realize, well, crap. Now that people are no longer putting up with this, and now that people are saying point blankly, hey, we think this is a mental health issue. We don't really care what you believe. We're not going to believe it. And we're trying to tell you that you have a mental health issue. When you think you're a boy and you can have a baby, you have some psychological issues. I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but I don't care. If you're a boy, you can't have a baby. Okay? You can't. Just telling you. Trust me on this one. So once they start to realize some of this, I think it's going to go away. I bet you in a year or two, it's going to be less and less. And I mean, it's already taking a big hit right now. But if they want to live in this society, which is bigger than their woke society, that's what they didn't understand. They thought they were living in the most powerful woke society, that they had the country by the balls. And they kind of did. It's kind of like the hippies. The hippies kind of thought, no, we're the center of the country. We are the enlightened ones. Pass that pot, by the way. We are the ones that have it figured out. We are the ones that know how things are going. The woke people think the same crap. Different ideology, but same philosophy, right? But when they realize that their group gets smaller and smaller and smaller, where are they going to go? You got to assimilate into the larger society. I got friends that are old hippies, and I got one that's a doctor, and I've talked to him about this. I got friends that are business people that are hippies in their heart because that's how they grew up. I know a few hippies that are still hippies, but I've not talked to them about this at the college, because some of them are teachers. Like, well, how did you I said, you had a transition, right? Yeah. And he's like, it just came natural. One day I was, sitting around getting high, playing the guitar and sleeping with girls. And, the next day I was going to college. My view is your world. The propaganda wasn't strong enough to overcome the facts. And absolutely. That's a good way to put it. Because science doesn't lie. I mean, it can be misinterpreted, it can be misread, misunderstood, it can be manipulated. But it doesn't lie. We, as human beings, are not asexual beings. We are not. We can't reproduce ourselves. So I can't have a baby. Me can't have it. It doesn't work that way. If I'm a guy, I'm a male, and I go and have a sex change, a complete sex change, I still can't have a baby. It doesn't work that way. There's not a part of my body that can carry a child. And I saw one of the congressional hearings, or one of the YouTube channels, where the girl was explaining, well, the baby would come out of the butt of the man. What? You're going to have a baby and coming out of a digestive tract full of bacteria? What? Where is your logic in this? How stupid do you got to be? And and I'm thinking when I heard this, that if you're in college, you better get your damn money back. My God, lay off the drugs, something. But you're right, propaganda wasn't strong enough to defeat reality. And reality is not only what we make it, but it is what it is. Look, I don't like the way we police in America. I think it's wrong. Reality is, I do think black people are targeted more than white people. Reality, I just think it is. I think that, and I think it is. I think rich people get away with more than poor people. I think poor people are singled out and targeted, and they get the brunt of the negative stuff from law enforcement and government agencies. Shadow Band says, if sex has nothing to do with gender, then why do they all have surgery to reconfirm gender? Well, reconfirm, that's what they call it, but it's actually a change in gender. But it's actually not your gender, it's a change in your body part. It's cosmetic surgery is what it is. It doesn't change your gender, it changes your body parts. It cuts your penis open and makes it look like a vagina. That's what it does. It doesn't change anything. You get breast implants and take hormones, but you're still a male. It's kind of, the example I use is if we take a domesticated pig off of old McDonald's farm, one of those pink looking white pigs, right? And it's running around eating corn and all the other slop we give it. We let it go out in the woods and we put a tracker on it. 6 months to a year, that pig is going to be a wild hog. It's going to grow tusks, it's going to change colors, its tail is even going to change. Its snout's going to change, but it's still a pig. It's still a pig, even though its features changed because now it became feral. But it's still a freaking pig. A man is a man is a man is a man. I don't care if you want to go around saying, I want to identify as a girl. Well, you go do that. I don't have to do that. You know, and look, I'm just not. I don't care. And one thing I get tired of, and I said this to somebody a while back, is when you say thank you, ma'am, or thank you, sir, you know, and they go, well, I'm not a ma'am or I'm not a sir. I get tired of that because my answer now is, oh, sorry, thank you, asshole. Because everybody has an asshole. So instead of me worrying about how to identify you and you get offended, I'm just going to say, thank you, asshole, because everybody has an asshole, right? Solves the gender problem. We want to talk about gender. We want to talk about what you think you are or what you want to be or how you want to identify because nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. Just say, oh, thank you, and move on. You're getting a tip. You know, you got a damn tip. What are you bitching about? Dennis in the house. Good evening, Dennis. That's my point, Dennis. Who gives a crap what anybody identifies as? What we care about is not being forced to believe your delusion. And I won't believe anybody's delusion. Now, if you want to be a girl, then you go be a girl. I don't really care. But I'm still going to recognize the fact that you're a man. Now, you may be a man who wants to be a girl, and that's okay. Go lay down. So, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. I think a lot of these kids and young people don't understand that when somebody is saying, thank you, ma'am, thank you, sir, they're being polite. They're being nice. You know, it's appropriate, right? It's what we were taught. But to be criticized for being nice, being polite, being respectful is stupid. They go, well, it's not respectful because you misidentified me. Who gives a shit what you are? Right now, you're a waiter or a server, you know, but you do have an asshole, so I'll just call you an asshole. And I did that last time. Last time somebody said, I'm not a, what did she say? Was she a man? Oh, yeah, I'm not a man. And I said, oh, well, sorry, asshole, because I know you have one of those, so I'll just call you asshole, okay? And I continued about my business. I mean, it's stupid. Do they need to wear a sign around their neck saying, I want to be called yes, sir, no, sir? I don't know, but I think it's going to change. I do. Dennis, how are you? How are things in the land of Canada? What's going on? Are you ready to become a U.S. citizen yet? I talked to the president the other day. I told him that your desire for Canada to become the 51st state, and he said, yeah, you know, Canada doesn't really have anything we want, but yeah, okay. So after we fix all these other problems, we're going to consider taking Canada on as a 51st state. You know, how's that? No, we won't do that. Trump told me when I talked to him, because, you know, him and I are friends now. He calls me for advice. Yeah, but I'm heading to the Canadian Gulf. Nice, nice. It's the American Gulf, by the way. You know, we changed the name. I think Google changed the name too. Did you guys see that? Which makes sense since all the tech giants who hated Trump now want to kiss his ass, which is funny, right? How much the tech people hated him, but now they're going, yay, yay. You know, and since he changed the name of the Gulf to the Gulf of America, and Google's, you know what I mean? It's just like, what kind of are you people? What kind of crappy people are you people? So, but it's interesting, right? There's a bigger movement to start moving Chinese companies out. There's so much going on down here, Dennis. It's crazy. You know, I don't know if they've had any illegals taken out of my area. I'm sure they probably have, but we haven't heard anything locally. So, but, and then there's a big deal going on with all the federal workers bitching and complaining. Here's what they want. I saw this today. So Trump has said, look, if you work for the government and you're not working at home, or if you're working at home, most of you people need to come back to work. You have an office. We're paying for it. You don't need to be at home anymore. Well, they're all up in arms, and their union master is saying, that's not fair. They shouldn't have to go back to work at their office. And if they're going to quit, we want 8 months' salary. So they're going to get 8 months' salary if they quit and don't go back to the office. Well, they've had years of free money. So that's something that's going on right now, is that. Yeah, yeah. He stole your ideal. He took it and ran with it, man. He's stolen people. I liked what happened. Well, you were there. You were watching. Were you down in Columbia this week when Sunday when the Columbia drama happened? But he's and I think what a lot and I don't know if you know who what's her name? Selena Gomez. She's a singer, right? And an actress. Played on the 70s show. I saw the video of her booing and hooing and crying on YouTube or TikTok, wherever it was, where she's crying about, oh, my people, I can't save you. I can't do anything. The children, about the deportations. John says, ooh, Canada. I like Canada. Well, John, you could be the prime minister to Canada if you want. Or prime ambassador. We'll make you #1 ambassador. Dennis can be the ambassador to America. He's sitting back some arm candy. Did he send some arm candy back there? Yeah. How pathetic. They're not her people. She was born and raised in effing Texas. Hello? Those Mexicans, those Guatemalans who sneaked across the border they're not your people, bitch. You know? Dumbass. You're a Texan. Hello? So, and she's getting hammered about that. I think that's kind of funny. People are really raking her over the coals for that. And what these people don't realize, and somebody on the news today said, look, about Selena Gomez and about some of these other celebrities. You don't understand that you're like 1% of the population and nobody gives a shit what you think. Because, and they said, and I can prove this, because you guys went out there and campaigned for Kamala Harris, but who won the election? So your message doesn't resonate. Your message about the poor children being deported doesn't resonate. Yeah, I like those, right? Did she ever have her people stay with her? Of course not. And she could afford to. Have you seen some of those videos on YouTube or Facebook, which I think is funny, where they got these people walking around like they're collecting polls or something. They're taking a poll or a petition. And they go up to a house that has like a Biden sign in it or something and say, hey, well, can we ask you about the immigration and this and that? And they're all, yeah, we're all in favor for the, for the illegals to stay here. And yeah, we don't think they should be deported. And they go, oh, great. They make a call. And then they bring up some what are posted, I think it's a joke, to make a point. But they bring up, they said, well, great. We got these 4 illegals that need housing. They can just stay with you. One of them needs his medicine. One is allergic to this, so great. Thank you for taking these 4 illegal aliens into your beautiful home. Wow, John's got his big puffy sponge. E-sponge headphones on, looking headphones. Nice. So that makes you cool like the 70s. I see that now a lot where, for years people were wearing earbuds. Now I see girls and people at Walmart wearing traditional big headphones again. So is there a new trend for that? Is the trend shifting? Are we having a paradigm shift from earbuds to big earmuffs? Maybe it's a Chinese thing where they put rabbit or cat ears on their headphones and look cool, they think. The girls, so maybe the American girls are starting to do that so they can wear a little decoration on their head. I got a pair. I got a free pair the other day. Somebody sent me some to review. So I have a really nice pair. It's actually really nice. I don't wear them, but they're really nice. So that's kind of what I wonder. I wonder. So, but what are these idiots doing? Taylor Swift didn't accomplish anything with her political opinion because nobody cares. The people that go watch Taylor Swift don't vote. They don't care about politics. You know what I mean? The people that deal with Selena Gomez, it doesn't make any sense. But I do like the fact that all these companies now are going, oh, no, we support Trump. No, Facebook agrees, yes. Mark Zuckerberg, yes, no. No, Trump's a great guy. No, we're buddies. Yeah. All these people now going, we got to kiss up to the president so that we can make more money. Well, what are you going to do, right? Kind of crazy, but it is the way it is these days. So, all right, my friends, we've been on here a little bit over, 2 hours or hour and a half. So I think I'm going to wind this down so I can go and relax. I'm still kind of tired. I was wore out the last couple of days. I'm feeling a little bit better. But I know a lot of it has to do with the cold, the dark skies, because it's been cloudy here. So it's been kind of depressing around here. So I don't like winter, and I think it depresses me tremendously. So there's days during the winter where I kind of lay low. But, what are you going to do, right? Kind of get up and move and do things and do the best we can and hope that we all feel better in the end is all we can do. I got to get back to working on my model, and I'm working on the more chapter reviews for Dr. Ken Berry's book. There should be one coming out tomorrow night, and then I'm going to start dropping them on Tuesday and Thursday, I think, until I get them done. So I am working on those, my interpretation of his chapter or chapter review. So keep making those and keep dumping those, getting those out there. If anybody wants to watch them or not, it is what it is. So, but friends, we appreciate you. I hope you guys all take care. If anybody needs anything, just let us know. If you see Ronald, remember to congratulate Ronald on his new love in the Philippines. Congratulations again to Ronald. Gloomy, yes. Gloomy is a good way to describe it. And we all got, I definitely go through that, but, what are you going to do? You just suck it up and deal with it, right? So, but if you see Ronald, tell him congrats. He has his own arm candy now. I got a feeling she's probably smoking hot knowing Ronald. Because, Ronald doesn't like the ugly girls. So she's, and he can afford a smoking hot Filipina. So when you guys see him, tell him I said hello and give him a congratulations from yourself. So, all right, my friends, take care. We will catch you guys tomorrow night. We'll do another live stream tomorrow night. So we will see you guys then.